think that is the lead story. What you have done to Kevin Durant, what you have done to who I thought was the best player in the league, you have reduced him to a puddle. You have reduced him to, I don't know, fill in the blank. Give me the adjectives. What you have reduced that player to me, remains the lead story in Boston sports. Your thoughts?
Oh, there's no question that is the story of the series. Jason Tatum v. Kevin Durant has completely outplayed him. They've completely neutralized Durant. How many shots did he take in the first half on Sunday? Wasn't it like 6?
So I don't know the number, but he had
something like that.
And wasn't the game Saturday?
Saturday.
He had 11 total, I thought.
Ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous. So it felt to me like early on, Brooklyn just decided, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to Durant's frustrated. They're throwing 3 guys at him every time we get him the ball. So we're going to go to other people, let Durant ease his way in, except that he never eased his way back.
The number was 5, by the way, but keep going.
I mean, it's a joke. So they've completely, and he admits now that obviously it's in his head. He's tentative. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to handle it. He's lost, and so are they. 3-0, stick a fork in him. It's over.
Yeah, they broke his brain, and then they've also quit. So that picked off pass that Tatum dunked, I mean, did you watch that, or are you even just seeing the clip?
Oh, wait, you didn't like the close-up by Kyrie there?
I mean, he gave up. He completely gave up. And just even some of the clips, him walking into that game on Saturday night, there's now this tweet that's gone viral of someone commented on it. This is how I looked walking into every job I've ever hated. Like, he just has this, Kyrie has this air of like.
Kyrie or Durant?
Kyrie does. Like, I think as of right now, Kyrie is just like, let's get this over with, guys. Like, it's now over. I'm honestly, I think the Celtics basically dominated them on Saturday night. I know it got close at times, but the Celtics flat out dominated them, and especially when they needed to in the fourth quarter.
No, but Kyrie quitting to me is not really a story. Like, we all knew that's what he is. He has it in him.
We saw it firsthand in that Milwaukee series, the gentleman's sweep. No, the Durant thing's the story, Mike. You're right.
Right, exactly. So that's why that's what's notable to me. You know, I knew Kyrie would capitulate. Just a matter of time. It's Durant. You know, you got him to capitulate after what was essentially 2 games. I mean, complete capitulation. You've ruined him. I don't mean like you've ruined him for life. I would expect him to still come back and have a productive NBA career. But in the short and here and now, you've ruined the guy.
He doesn't know what to do.
Oh, my God. And, previously, I gave it all to the Celtics defense, that I thought, and I still think that in the first couple games, Durant tried. He was engaged. He was trying to do his thing. You just wouldn't let him. And there weren't as many unforced errors from Durant as there were forced errors. And when he did have an unforced error here in Boston, it's because you had sped him up. Well, I thought Saturday was different. I looked at Durant on Saturday and said, well, now you're just a puddle. Like, the defense is good. It's still good. But you're not even giving the defense a chance to be good. You're just floating the ball away. It's just, he's a puddle.
Oh, yeah, he's lost. No, he's lost. And look, again, I will allow for some inside knowledge here from Udoka. I think Udoka has a good grasp as to what Durant's personality is, how he wants to play, and how he will react if things don't go his way. And I think what the Celtics have done is completely frustrate and fluster him. The Celtics led for 44 minutes of this game. I mean, once they took the lead 4 minutes into the first quarter, they never gave it back.
No, I'm with Murray. I don't think it was much of a game. I think they were just toying with them a little bit. Whatever. In that second half, Blake Griffin hit a few shots. So it got to 5-4. I mean, you pointed out every time it got to that range, what did the Celtics do?
They scored. I thought that, to me, that was the biggest telltale sign of what the Celtics have become, particularly in this series, and I would say particularly overall. But if you look at the 3 games, to go back to what you were saying and what Murray said about them dominating the third game, every game they've gotten a little bit better, right? Every game they've gotten a little bit better. They blew a lead in game 1, and then they pulled it out at the end. The second game they fell behind, but since the start of the third quarter in game 2, it's really been pretty much all Celtics. I mean, the last game and a half, they've really kind of dominated. They controlled that game on Sunday, I thought, pretty much from beginning to end. And anytime Brooklyn got close, they punched him back in the nose, and that was it.
Well, yeah, anytime that, you got a bit of an offensive spark from Blake Griffin, how was he on the other end? I mean, Brown worked him. It just made him look like a complete fool.
I mean, that sequence to me was it. That was the one where I said, the Celtics are different. They're different. for a team that we thought would crap its pants in the final 5 minutes of a game or when there was adversity. They got a little pushback in this game at various points, and they got a lot of it when Blake Griffin came in. And Brooklyn got it down. Griffin scored 8 points, if I remember right, and Brooklyn got it down to 5, and then 4. And on those, in that sequence, the Celtics scored on 5 straight possessions where Jaylen Brown undressed Blake Griffin at the other end of the floor, and the other one was a kick out to Tatum for a 3. Brown scored 4 buckets. Tatum scored 1. They scored on all 5 trips, and that was it. So to me, that answer right there told me a lot.
Okay, is where we are at this series. You can call us, folks, on this or whatever else you want from the weekend, 617-779-0985. Is where we're at this series say more about the Nets or the Celtics? May I answer? Nets. It says more about the Nets. You get all sensitive about that, like I'm taking something away from the Celtics. No. You beating the Nets is about you. And you're better than them, and you're proving it and all of that. I'm not saying that
that this is a fluke or anything like that. Or
no, you should be beating the Nets. You're better. The fact that it's about to be a sweep says more about the Nets. The Nets should be taking a game or two in this series. They have enough talent to take a game or two. And the fact that they're not tells you what an utter mess the Brooklyn Nets are. And what, those pieces, and you just put those pieces together and how flawed they are between, Kyrie Irving and his flighty nature and Ben Simmons, that guy, like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. And the completely ineffective coach, and put Durant on the list too. How mentally strong is he, and all of that? So you put that all together. The fact it's about a sweep says to me more about the Nets and how bad they are versus how good you are.
They've melted. There's no other way to put it. They've melted. They can't get a stop when they need a stop. And I'm sorry, defense is will and effort. It's athleticism, but that part I take as a given. Like, if you're not athletic, you can't play. In that league, most of the guys are dig in and fight. And they don't. And the fact that Simmons is now skipping game 4, tell me that's not perfect.
I mean, the whole visual of this, and I did mention it last week, what a joke it is that Simmons was cleared to return, and he said, I'll do Monday. When the series was game 3. The series was game 3 on Saturday. That was the series. And you've had, again, I'm just picking the number. I don't know the exact number, but he's had 300 days off. Call it. 300 days. You can come back on the 301st day or the 303rd day. The series is on the line at 3:01. No, I'll come back on Monday. That's probably a better day for me. And he's sitting out there with the stupid purple thing, whatever he's wearing, whatever stupid outfit he's wearing, one day after the next.
He looked like a literal clown in that outfit on Saturday night.
And it sits out like a sore thumb because everyone wears black in Brooklyn for some reason, because the jerseys or whatever. It's dark in the stands. Everyone's wearing black. The jerseys are black. And he had this big purple popsicle sitting on the bench while Rob Williams is given the same sort of thing, okay? You're ready after around 3 weeks, which is a week early, but you can come back after 21 days or 23 days. Are you going to pick Monday or Saturday? The series is on the line on Saturday. So he plays, and Ben Simmons in his stupid jumpsuit is sitting there on the bench again. Like, what a freaking loser. That guy's a loser. And, so like, to me, that visual sort of just says it all. And so there you are. And that, to me, is why the Nets are getting swept, because of that team and how they're made up and their character and their makeup and all of that.
They're gutless losers.
What? Losers. And Durant, I just think, is a small L loser. I don't know where to put Kyrie. He's won, and he was largely responsible for winning, or he was, at least, greatly responsible for winning his one championship. He was definitely 1-1A with LeBron the year they won. So I can't call him a capital L loser. Ben Simmons, freaking capital L loser. And so that's it with the sweep. How do you feel about the team going forward? We can look ahead to the next series, of course, because this thing is over. I don't care if Scott Foster's reffing tonight. I don't care if Attila the Hun's reffing tonight. Celtics are going to win this series in 4 or 5. It's probably going to be tonight. The two opposing forces, Scott Foster is there to give the Nets a game that they don't want and aren't going to try and win. So what of those two forces, what wins out? You name it. I've seen MVPs, the stars of the league. It's just sort of, it's unfortunate in the NBA, but you see it a lot. You get to a certain spot and the guy, even the best of the best, capitulate. Not all of them. You know, mostly the Miami Heat are going to go down with the fight because of Jimmy Butler. There's some rare exceptions. I hope to think Giannis and the Bucks are one of them. But Durant and Kyrie are hardly the only NBA superstars or the first, and they won't be the last to quit when they know it's over.
Oh, no, it's a long, distinguished list. I mean, it is like it's almost, par for the course in that league.
So they are just the latest in a long line. Charlie and Quincy. Hi, Charlie.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, Charlie. What do you got?
Okay, you say Scott Foster doesn't make any difference. You're so wrong. First of all, KD's not going to beat the Celtics tonight. Kyrie's not going to beat him. Scott Foster is. Scott Foster is known as the playoff extender. You just check out Philadelphia's loss. Scott Foster was reffing.
Okay, babe. I mean, I know that, but I'm telling you, he's going to try and give it to a team that doesn't want to take it. What happens when Scott Foster tries to hand a victory to a team that doesn't want to take that victory? Murray, I guess you tweeted out the stat before. What do you have with Scott Foster?
Oh, yeah. So let me pull this up here. Sorry. It's in the last 21 playoff games that Scott Foster has refereed, not game one. The team behind in the series has 19 wins and 2 losses, including the 0-3 Raptors just recently to the Sixers. I mean, that is a joke. But I'm kind of with you on this. So as much of a factor as Foster has been, and that number is insane. How is that not looked into by, like, the government? 19-2? I think the quit factor of Brooklyn will outweigh Scott Foster tonight. They don't want it. Do you think Kyrie wants to come back here on Wednesday?
No.
It's opposing forces. Toronto wanted to win. Brooklyn does not. They do. So Scott Foster's going to try and hand them a game they don't want.
Well, and I'll tell you what. Let's say that he calls 3 fouls on Jaylen Brown in the first 5 minutes or on Tatum or whoever. Take your pick. And that Brooklyn actually wins the game. What freaking difference does it make if they come back here? Because they're going to get their asses kicked when they come to Boston. They're done. Brooklyn's done. Forget it. It's over.
Agreed. Danny in Ohio. Yes, Danny.
Yeah, say that the Nets have 2 of the biggest quitters in all of sports, and Simmons and Kyrie. And Durant realized that last game. He was like, I'm done. Celtics ruined the Nets for the second time.
Okay. They ruined him the first time with the Garnett trade.
I guess, but Brooklyn still ended up in pretty good shape from that.
I mean, I don't know. They wiped the floor with you last year.
But his point about Kyrie and Simmons being 2 of the biggest quitters in the league is right.
The worst.
So, again, think of that. They're paying those 2 guys combined, what, $70 million? 65? Call it. And they got how many games out of him this year?
I don't know what combined.
40?
Oh, I don't even know if it was that much.
Did Kyrie play 40 games? I mean, something like that. It's an absurdly low number.
Ben Simmons is a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Ryan and Woonsocket. Go ahead, Ryan. What is it, Maz? Hold on. Go ahead.
On Ben Simmons being a quitter. Can you guys think of anyone in any sport ever that's quit on 2 teams in the same season? That's incredible. In the same season.
I mean, again, Antonio Brown, Randy Moss, like those kind of guys.
James Harden.
Yeah, so, I mean, but it's happened. Moss has done it. Moss quit on you, went to Tennessee, quit on Tennessee, was traded back to Minnesota, quit on Minnesota. It
looks worse for him too when you juxtapose like what he's doing against the team he's playing with and the history of this team with Larry Bird stretching out his back, laying on his stomach on the bench, doing whatever the hell he can do to get into the game. Never mind the fact you have Robert Williams, who didn't even look all that great, coming back, playing limited minutes, like, no, I'm available. I want to be in on this series. Oh, my back. Oh, I can't play. Oh, my back. And not to mention, and fine, like, because like you hear this, like, so what, you don't take his mental health seriously? I guess I do, kind of, sort of. I just think he's full of it. I think the whole thing's a crock. I think he's a giant baby.
He's blaming his back. So he's
whatever it is. I think it's all a lie.
He's not even claiming mental health. But I'm with Murray. I respect the problem that is mental health. I don't trust him. It's a Ben Simmons commentary. It's not a mental health commentary.
29 games.
I mean, come on.
Not counting this series.
For Pete's sake.
So called 32 because Kyrie's actually played in these 3.
And at least, so like, as bad as Kyrie is, I think Simmons is worse. And I not that I'm defending Kyrie, but there was sort of a goofy law there in New York that prevented him from playing. Okay, he's hardly the only unvaxxed guy. And we'll get to the Red Sox here coming up. He's one of them, but he's definitely not alone. And because of that goofy law there in New York, he couldn't play at home. But visiting players who were unvaxxed could. Like, you got to admit, that's sort of goofy. So, like, that's my own. What's Ben Simmons' excuse? What's that?
He hasn't played in how long?
He don't want to work. He just wants to show up in some goofy outfit and glasses.
Workman's comp.
Seriously.